70 electoral votes, and the brand new polls are just in. Tonight, where this race stands with just hours to go, who's leading before the first polls open? Trump, Clinton, neck and neck in the battlegrounds. Hillary Clinton set to take the stage with the president, the first lady, and Bruce Springsteen just moments from now. We're live. And Donald Trump tonight, barnstorming the battlegrounds, lashing out at the FBI after clearing Clinton again. And tonight, why Trump is confident he will win. Our powerhouse political team is all here. Also tonight, the case of the alleged serial killer breaks wide open. The suspect leading authorities to several gruesome discoveries. And tonight here, his new demands. And several earthquakes here in the U.S. Dozens of homes and buildings damaged. Tremors from Texas to Illinois. A special edition of World News Tonight begins now.
From ABC News election headquarters in Times Square, this is a special edition of World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening and welcome to ABC News election headquarters right here in Times Square, where 24 hours from now, this room will be abuzz. Every seat in this room will be filled as those first polls begin to close. This is a presidential race unlike anything we have ever seen before, and tonight we are aware that so many of you at home are grateful this election is finally here. So let's get to it tonight. You see Hillary Clinton there with a thumbs up. She is about to walk onto this stage in Philadelphia with the president, the first lady, and the boss, Bruce Springsteen, there tonight. Donald Trump touching down in 5 battlegrounds today. He is fired up, arguing he doesn't need any big names. He says his crowds say it all. He is confident he will win. And our new ABC News tracking poll showing Hillary Clinton with a slight edge at 47, Donald Trump at 43. But they are in a virtual tie in 2 key battlegrounds today. It's new polls in Florida. Clinton 46, Trump 45. And in North Carolina tonight, Clinton 47, Trump 45. And in New Hampshire this evening, a new poll showing Clinton at 49, Trump at 38. Tonight, Donald Trump is lashing out at the FBI. Clinton, meanwhile, trying to keep her momentum. We begin with ABC's Cecilia Vega. Cecilia?
David, good evening to you. There are thousands of people. You can see them all here behind me, here to see the first African-American president and the person running to be the first woman president and the symbolic passing of the torch. Tonight, Hillary Clinton swarmed by supporters, feeling confident with that FBI investigation behind her and just hours left in this race. Before taking off for her final day of campaigning, a FaceTime call to her granddaughter, Charlotte. Some questions from reporters.
I really do want to be the president for everybody, people who vote for me, people who vote against me. We really do have to bring the country together.
Can you do that? Can you heal the journey?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Her team encouraged by scenes like this, long lines of early voters, mostly Latino, in Nevada. And by the tens of thousands who have turned out in key battlegrounds to see her famous friends, LeBron and Pharrell, Bon Jovi, Katy Perry, Jay-Z, and Beyonce.
I want my daughter to grow up seeing a woman lead our country, and that is why I'm with her.
Today, Clinton making 2 stops in Pennsylvania, a state considered her firewall. Here we go, just touched down in Pittsburgh. Hillary Clinton is about to begin her final day of campaigning.
Thank you all.
Clinton delivering a plea.
Hello, Pittsburgh! If the lines are long tomorrow, please wait.
And her closing argument.
We can do this! We don't have to accept a dark and divisive vision for America. Tomorrow, you can vote for a hopeful, inclusive, big-hearted America. And we got to start talking to each other again. Great rally here at Pitt. Felt good.
It's a new message of hope and the focus of a 2-minute ad airing nationwide tonight.
I love this country, and I'm convinced our best days are still ahead of us if we reach for them together.
And on the last day of this race, President Obama out there too, campaigning in Michigan, where Donald Trump sees an opening.
So Michigan, I ask you to do for Hillary what you did for me. I ask you to carry her the same way you carried me. If you're willing to embrace hope again, then we will finish what we started.
Clinton telling me today she's ready.
Any concerns about tomorrow at all? Any concerns?
We're just going to work until the last vote is counted.
So let's get to Cecilia Vega. She's live in Philadelphia tonight. And Cecilia, we know she's there with the president and with Bruce Springsteen tonight, but this is not her last stop.
She's got a long night ahead of her, David. From here, she flies to a rally in North Carolina. That takes place at midnight. Then she flies back to New York, where she will vote tomorrow. And, of course, that big party in New York City tomorrow night under a literal glass ceiling. David.
All right, a long night ahead for you as well, Cecilia. Our thanks to you. Donald Trump, meanwhile, pointing to those neck-and-neck battleground states and his standing room-only crowds as proof that he will win. He's now making his closing arguments. Proud to be going it alone. No celebrities necessary. ABC's Tom Llamas in Scranton, where he's witnessing those long lines firsthand.
Tonight, Donald Trump with one last battleground blitz, a whirlwind sprint to the finish. 8 states in 24 hours. Trump sounding nothing like an underdog.
We're winning Ohio. We're winning Iowa. We're winning, we think, New Hampshire. We're going to do great in New Hampshire. I hear we're winning North Carolina big. I hear.
In Florida, long lines of supporters waiting overnight to see him.
So we're inside Trump's first event of the day, Sarasota, Florida. Thousands of people here, and some of these Trump supporters have been waiting since 6 p.m. last night to see Trump today. Here's one of them. So why wait so long to see Trump?
So I could be here to witness history. How can I ever get another chance to witness history like this?
Who's already voted? That's pretty good. Wow. Oh, wait, you've almost all voted. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
We want Trump! We want Trump!
In the last days of this campaign, the energy electric, a movement with momentum after the FBI's October surprise, that review of newly discovered emails tied to Hillary Clinton. Trump went from attacking the FBI to praising it, to now attacking it again after Director Comey's announcement clearing Clinton a second time.
You can't review 650,000 new emails in 8 days. You can't do it, folks.
In fact, sources tell ABC News agents used a computer program to sort through all those emails. Trump's frustration and his list of grievances, all part of his final act in this campaign. Trump even knocking Clinton for her star-studded finale.
She gets Beyonce and Jay-Z. I like them. I like them. And you know what they do? I get bigger crowds than they do. Is there any place better to be than a Trump rally? Are we having fun? Are we having fun? No. And I don't have a guitar, and I don't have a piano.
But he does have Ted Nugent, treating the crowd in Michigan to a lewd boast.
I got your blue state right here, baby.
Trump himself more fired up than ever with just hours to go.
In one day, do you believe this? One day, we are going to win back the White House.
And so let's bring in Tom Llamas live tonight. He's in Scranton. And Tom, no question here that Donald Trump's spending a lot of time in these final hours in the Rust Belt states where he has to knock off some of that blue.
We are going to unleash.
That's right, David. Donald Trump actually finishing his campaign in Grand Rapids, Michigan, a traditionally blue state. But Trump and his campaign are convinced disaffected white working-class voters will lead them to victory on Tuesday. David?
Tom Llamas with us again tonight. Tom, we'll see you right here tomorrow night. The race between Clinton and Trump has been really too close for comfort all along, and tomorrow night it will be no different. Take a look at this. The candidates just a few blocks away from one another, right here in New York. Both of them very close to us here at ABC News headquarters in Times Square. In fact, Clinton's election night party at the Javits Convention Center with its literal glass ceiling, it's that blue banner right there, and Trump's election night party at the Hilton Midtown Hotel just a few blocks away, right there with the red banner. In the meantime, a swift reaction tonight from Wall Street to the FBI director's announcement that he is clearing Hillary Clinton after the discovery of those additional emails saying there's nothing there. Stocks losing ground every day since the investigation was announced, but tonight, after the FBI said there was nothing to prosecute, the Dow soaring, closing up 371 points, more than 2%. ABC's chief business and economics correspondent Rebecca Jarvis at the New York Stock Exchange tonight with the market's reaction. Rebecca?
David, from the minute Wall Street learned the FBI had cleared Clinton, stocks started rallying overnight. The Dow surging at the open today, having its best day in 8 months. Wall Street sees Clinton as the status quo candidate. They basically know what to expect from her. Trump is the wild card, and the bottom line is investors hate that type of uncertainty. They like to know what exactly they're betting on, which is why major banks are predicting with a Trump win that stocks would automatically fall, whereas with a Clinton win, stocks would stabilize or even rally. David?
Rebecca Jarvis with us tonight. Rebecca, thank you. And as we mentioned at the top there, the polls show a virtual tie in Florida and North Carolina. The race could really depend on what happens there. And so Jonathan Karl's back tonight with the electoral map, tracking the numbers as he has been for weeks now. And where does this race stand on the eve of the election?
David, going into Election Day, this map favors Hillary Clinton. Look what Donald Trump would have to do to win. He would have to carry every single one of the states that are remaining toss-up. And watch what happens if he does that. He carries Arizona, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, New Hampshire, the 2nd Congressional District in Maine, and he's still short. So that's why Donald Trump is looking up in the industrial Midwest, looking at these bright blue states, hoping to turn one of them red. If he can do that, if he can say win the state of Michigan, he gets to 280. As for Hillary Clinton, she just has to hold the states where she currently has a lead.
Florida would put her over the top.
Florida would be lights out. No way Trump could really realistically win.
But it's a dead heat there in the polls. John Karl tracking the map for us, and we'll see you tomorrow night, John. In the meantime, you saw the map there a lot closer in the battlegrounds than it was 10 days ago before the FBI announced those newly discovered emails. Tonight, with Clinton now in the clear, there may be little time to regain all of that momentum, and really neither side is happy about it. Let's bring in ABC senior justice correspondent Pierre Thomas, who's with us live in New York tonight. And Pierre, the FBI knows they'll be under scrutiny after this election about any possible role the FBI played.
David, a source familiar with Comey's thinking said that he faced difficult choices, bad choices. He made the best decision that he could. But what this means is he will have a prickly relationship with Clinton or Trump, regardless of who is elected. But I'm told that he's just fine with being seen as independent, David.
So he could have a difficult relationship with either president-elect, whoever it might be. And how long is his term, Pierre?
He has a 10-year term. It expires in 2023, and he plans on serving every bit of it, I'm told.
Pierre Thomas live here in Times Square as well, Pierre. Thank you. And just hours from now, Election Day begins. We'll have it all. Our coverage begins right here tomorrow night with World News Tonight. And then at 7 p.m. Eastern, I'll be joining George and the entire Powerhouse political team. And, of course, we'll be here all night long. In the meantime, tonight we turn to other news this Monday and new developments in that horrific kidnapping in South Carolina. A woman chained inside a storage container, the suspect right there in the orange jumpsuit, leading police on a tour of his property. They have now found bodies buried there. Tonight, did he also write chilling reviews on Amazon, just as we also learned that after his arrest, he had demands? Here tonight, ABC's Eva Pilgrim.
Authorities tonight described the suspected serial killer as cooperative, saying Todd Collop made 3 requests before he agreed to provide information to investigators. The former realtor wanted to give his mom a picture, talk with her, and to transfer money to a girl he is helping raise. Kohlhepp then allegedly confessed to murdering those 4 people in a motorsports shop in 2003. The local sheriff department says it's aware of chilling Amazon reviews possibly linked to the suspect. In one review about a padlock, the reviewer wrote, "Have 5 on a shipping container. Won't stop them, but sure will slow them down." Investigators today finding another body on the suspect's land in South Carolina, in one of those graves the suspect revealed Saturday. Near where they discovered Kayla Brown, locked in a shipping container. The body of Charles David Carver, her boyfriend, later found in a shallow grave.
It took them finding my brother to have closure for other families. And that's a hero.
David Collop, who has not yet hired an attorney, has not entered a plea in any of these cases. David?
Eva Pilgrim with us tonight. Eva, thank you. There is still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Monday. Several earthquakes hitting the heartland, and the new images tonight. Dozens of homes and buildings damaged. Tremors felt from Texas to Illinois. Also tonight, the frantic search, the race against time to find a missing mother. Her husband speaking out tonight, saying she may have been kidnapped. And then this discovery on a mid-air flight, a scare that sent passengers into a panic. And just imagine if you saw this on your flight. We'll be right back in a moment.
For adults with advanced non-small cell lung cancer, previously treated with platinum-based chemotherapy, including those with an abnormal ALK or EGFR gene who've tried an FDA-approved targeted therapy, This is big. A chance to live longer. With Opdivo, nivolumab. Opdivo demonstrated longer life and is the most prescribed immunotherapy for these patients. Opdivo significantly increased the chance of living longer versus chemotherapy. No biomarker testing is required with Opdivo, though physicians may choose to do so. Opdivo works with your immune system. Opdivo can cause your immune system to attack normal organs and tissues in your body and affect how they work. This may happen anytime during or after treatment has ended and may become serious and lead to death. See your doctor right away if you experience new or worsening cough, chest pain, shortness of breath, diarrhea, severe stomach pain or tenderness, severe nausea or vomiting, extreme fatigue, constipation, excessive thirst or urine, swollen ankles, loss of appetite, rash, itching, headache, confusion, hallucinations, muscle or joint pain, or flushing, as this may keep these problems from becoming more serious. These are not all the possible side effects of Opdivo. Tell your doctor about all your medical